Hi, this is Lindsay, and we're doing a series where we're chatting with Designström. We have the co-founders, Linnea and Martin here. We're going to be chatting a little bit about their design philosophy, some projects that we've done together, and just some tips and fun things along the way. Would you both introduce yourselves and let us know what you do here?
Absolutely. So my name is Martin. I'm a co-founder. I'm also the design director. So I help direct our design team in selecting not only the materials, but just the overall focus of the design of the project.
I'm Linnea. I am a co-owner, founder of Designström as well. I do more of the after the design, meaning I do the project management. I make sure the project runs smoothly, and I also oversee the final finishes of the project.
So would you tell us a little bit about your design philosophy here at Designström?
I would say that our philosophy, and I wouldn't just say it's just a design philosophy, but we align ourselves with our clients. So I don't think we sort of stick to one particular style. We really interview our clients, understand what their requirements are, their needs, their wants. And then that kind of helps us develop the direction in the design. I would say that overall, we want to make sure that our designs is timeless. We do want to think about the materials and the palettes and how it's going to age over time. I wouldn't say we jump on every single trend. It's nice to see what's going on in the world, and we'll kind of cherry pick what we think is something that will surpass, the initial trend phase, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. What in design inspires you? Whether a specific style that inspires you or a designer, what's your inspiration?
Well, we are practical, but also we don't want practicality to kind of steer us away from the design and the creativity of design. And sometimes I feel clients are too stuck into being practical, especially with practical materials. So we kind of have to take them away from that and also introduce to them that, sometimes a material doesn't have to look amazing at all times. Like it can feel lived in and still be beautiful. Mm-hmm. I'm from Sweden, so I do love Scandinavian design. And when we have a client that aligns with that vision, that makes me excited. But that also doesn't limit ourselves, because we have clients who comes with us with a more, a country farmhouse. And I love that too. I love working in nature. I love bringing nature into a house and working with natural materials. So we are flexible because we like so many different things. And I think that's really great. And I think that's a strength as a designer, being able to be adaptable to different styles and different inspirations.
Let's kind of talk now about a couple projects that we've done together. If you want to highlight any projects specifically, I know you were featured in Style at Home.
We love working with Cercan Tile in general. One of my favorite aspects of sourcing from Cercan is that we're able to create exactly what we want. And by that, I mean, we can source from your collection of beautiful large format tiles, everything from matte to semi shiny to glossy, like fully polished tiles, to the sizes from 24 by 48 to large 48 by 48 inch tile. And then what we love is that using those tiles and then having them custom cut down to patterns that we really like, that kind of the scale that just works with the room, or the pattern that we think aligns with the style that we're trying to achieve in that space. In this magazine, we do have a project featured of one of those spaces. And we did a foyer tile, which we cut into a classic checkerboard tile on a 45 degree. you might say, oh, you can find a checkerboard tile anywhere. Well, yes, in a 12 by 12, but not necessarily in the scale that we wanted. And we wanted a 15 by 15. And so the way to do that was to get a custom tile cut.
And it looks very beautiful. And you did some other gorgeous spaces in that home. When you're designing bathrooms specifically with tiles, do you have any tips? Or when you're selecting the tile, how do you make that tile work with the space? What's your tip for choosing tile?
So when choosing tiles, there's a couple different sort of parameters you want to consider. So we'll start with the practical, because we are practical designers. So obviously grippability, the slipness factor. So we typically shy away from overly polished tiles especially in the shower area. We want to make sure that whatever material that we select, there is a bit of gripness there, a little bit of a texture. So sometimes we'll resort to mosaic tiles, or at least a cut down tile, so that there is a little bit of grout. I know people shy away from grout from cleanability, and we'll talk about that in a second too, but having a little bit of grout in the shower area does provide more grip. When selecting tiles, we also factor in the cleanability, which I just touched on. So that's where large format tiles really come into play, where we have less grout. That seems to be a common sort of feedback we get from clients. Like, I don't like cleaning grout. What can we do? And like, well, let's go with larger scale tiles. And then the advantage of that is that you get to see more of the tile and less of the grout. So you see the beauty of porcelain tiles that look like natural stone. And then I guess the third tip is more on the aesthetics. Depending on the style of the bathroom, if it's more of a minimalistic or contemporary, we tend to go more muted, more streamlined, drenching the whole room, maybe in the same tile. If it's a little bit more classy or has a little bit more transitional feel, we'll mix up different scale of tile. So we'll incorporate some large format with some medium or small format tiles.
When we design, say, a bathroom, for example, we always usually start with the tile, because the tile play a huge role. We want to make sure that the scale of the tile works with the bathroom. We care about the grout lines. We care where the grout lines end. We care about, if it's two different sizes of tiles, how do we make that grout line continuous through the bathroom? We also care about how tiles are met. You have to think about the thickness of the tiles. If you have two different wall tiles, how are they meeting if they're different thicknesses? We think about the edging of the tile. I personally don't like Schluters, basically a metal or plastic edge span. We prefer to come up with other creative ways of ending a tile. If that's mitering a tile, we love that. If that's adding another kind of trim piece on it, there's just or even like a bullnose, like a porcelain or ceramic bullnose from another collection. Like, there's different ways to do it, but we like to pay a lot of attention into those tile details when we create the space.
If you could pick one trend that you see now, what you think will become a more classic style of design, what trend would you focus on as something that you think is going to last?
So I think the shift I'm starting to see more and more is people really love the idea of like natural looking materials. However, when it comes to maintenance, that seems to be sort of the big roadblock for a lot of clients. And so, I mean, it's really exciting now to see a lot of these porcelain manufacturers develop the designs in the tiles to really reflect the natural materials. And so it seems like every year, the next generation of porcelain tiles are just getting better and better. And it's almost impossible to really say, is this a real stone or is it synthetic? And so I think I wouldn't call it a trend. I think it's here to stay, that in certain applications, natural looking porcelain tiles is here to stay. And again, every year there seems to be more and more travertine style porcelain tiles are so realistic, and it's kind of a no-brainer in a lot of our selections.
I'm kind of over the over-textured tiles, like the over-fluting, over-ribbing, but I do love marble. honed marble. We did a project recently with Cercan where we had a custom cut marble made in like 3 different scale of tiles and special ordered from Italy, and they were all tumbled. And the tumbled marble, we put it in 2 spaces in this project, and we absolutely love how it turned out. So we also are leaning towards the warmer tones, which I think almost every designer on the planet is doing. We're all kind of tired and bored of the white and the gray, so we're all going into the warmer. We also love rich colors. So instead of pastels necessarily, going into the deep burgundy or the deep greens and like creating really focal points with those colors where clients allow us to push colors, which we do love that too.
Porcelain or natural stone?
Natural stone.
Really practical. Porcelain.
Large format or mosaic?
Large format.
Large format.
Minimalism or maximalist?
Minimalism.
Minimalism as well.
Trend, led, or timeless?
Timeless.
Timeless.
Texture or color?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm going to say texture.
Yeah, I'm textured.
Custom detail or clean simplicity?
I love both, but I'm going to say custom detail.
Why can't we have both?
I mean, I guess that's the point, I guess, is to have a good combination. Open concept or defined spaces?
We used to be very much into only open concept. I think that was something that was happening a while ago. And now we love defined spaces because it gives us an opportunity to create a different mood into each space.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we do full homes, I think there's opportunity for both.
Travertine or concrete?
Travertine.
Travertine, because travertine has movement to it, right? Mm-hmm. Concrete is just kind of like there's no movement to it, right? It's just there's a lot of like aggregate.
Thank you very much for joining us, Linnea and Martin. It's been so lovely to hear your points of view and to collaborate with you in general. So thank you for doing the video, and can't wait to see the rest of what we have in store.
Thank you, Lindsay. It's been so fun.
Thanks for having us.